Welcome back to the 6th Gear Garage. Today I'm going through this 20R engine from the rusty Ohio 1980 Toyota long bed. And eventually this engine will go into the restored Southern frame. I'm going to be replacing the engine mounts, got an oil filter, new belts, valve cover gasket, fuel pump, and an oil pump and a rear main seal, oil pan gasket, and I also have a front seal for the new oil pump and a seal for the transmission, which will probably be in the next video, and a new thermostat. So it is a little bit dirty in here, but everything does look all right. I took a peek down inside here and both of the guides are in great shape. No kind of excessive wear anywhere on any of the cam lobes. So all I'm gonna do up here is replace this leaking fuel pump. The first thing I did was mark the order of the fuel lines. Then loosened the two 12mm bolts and removed the leaking fuel pump. Next, I removed the spacer, scraped off the old gasket, and used a razor blade to clean the surface. Next, I cleaned the spacer, put it between the two gaskets, and bolted the new fuel pump in place. This is the perfect time to replace the old rubber fuel lines as well. Next, I got to work on the oil pump, starting with removing the crank pulley. I applied some grease on the new oil pump. So this is the freezer trick. By freezing these seals, you can shrink them ever so slightly, and that'll make the tolerance a lot easier to fit it into the oil pump. You guys have also seen me do this with bearing races. Get a little bit of grease around the edge here. And I'm actually using a bearing race as my driver because it's just the right diameter. I'm putting some grease around here so that the rubber gasket stays in place. The slightly longer one goes on top. Top one actually gets some thread lock on it. I need to put some grease around the seal here. Guess I could have made this easier and put the grease on before I installed the pump. I'll just use a feeler gauge to push the grease down into the groove. That's where I want it. And now the crank pulley. And I won't be able to tighten the crank bolt now because the crank will spin. So I'm just giving it a few turns and I'll torque it down once it's in the truck. Time for the oil pan. This is actually the oil pan that was on the Southern Parts truck. I'm using it because it's a lot nicer than the rusty oil pan on this engine from the Ohio truck. Now is the ideal time to clean it up and repaint it. I had a hell of a time removing the original cork gasket. I tried scraping. I tried heat. Then gas and more heat. And it was still barely chipping away. A wire wheel was the easiest way I found to remove the old gasket. Next, I wiped the pan down with some degreaser and gave it a coat of self-etching primer, followed by 3 coats of VHT engine enamel. I'll let this dry overnight, and tomorrow morning, when my wife's not home, I'll cure it in the oven. I have to hurry before she gets back. 200 degrees for 1 hour. And done. Look at that beautiful bird. There's definitely a lot of fuel in the oil from the bad fuel pump. I can smell it as soon as I pull the pan off. And while I'm in here, it's a good time to take a look at the pickup screen. You can see there's some crud in there. Pick out some of this large stuff. And it's not anything like a piece of shaved metal, so that's good. Next, I cleaned the pickup screen with my toothbrush and brake cleaner. And cleaned up the oil pan mating surface as well. I have the mounting surface all cleaned up, and before I install my gasket and my refreshed oil pan, I'm going to put some RTV on the 4 corners. You can see there's a little gap right there where the timing cover is, and again on the back cover. And I like to put a little bit around the oil pan as well. You might remember in the last video, all that weird junk that collected in the top of this thermostat housing, probably from mixing 2 different types of coolant, one of which was GM's Dexcool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off and make sure it's all cleaned out inside, and it's also a good time to replace the thermostat and the gasket. The 2 12mm bolts for the thermostat housing were definitely rusted in place. First, I used heat to expand the aluminum, then soaked the bolts in PB Blaster. And after a lot of loosening, tightening, I was finally able to get the bolts removed without breaking them. And they were really rusty. I'm definitely gonna have to replace both of those bolts. Ew. That's nasty. And the inside looks really clean, so hopefully all that junk was just floating up at the top of the coolant system. I put some anti-seize on the new 12mm bolts before installing them. And realized that I forgot this metal clip to hold the fuel line. I figured I might as well replace these 43-year-old rubber motor mounts while the engine is out. I've gone this far, so I might as well install a new valve cover gasket and front and rear half moons. I'm putting black RTV on the half moons so they don't leak. And last but not least, I'm definitely going to replace the rear main seal while I have the engine out of the truck. And now for the last two bolts, holding the engine to the stand. And now normally, when you're changing the rear main seal, you can remove these 5 bolts, remove the bolt through the oil pan, pull this whole unit off, and replace it on the workbench. However, I saw a nice trick on Snail Trail 4x4 a long time ago, where you can just use a screwdriver to pop the seal out and not worry about replacing all these seals and having to reseal the oil pan. Clean around the end of the crankshaft here. Before I install the new seal, I'm going to put a little bit of grease around the edge here. Wipe it smooth into this groove here, and wipe a little around the outside as well. There it goes. And you can see this side's a little farther out up here, so I'm gonna keep tapping that one in. And now we're a little far out over here, so tap it in right there. And just keep going from side to side until it's flush. Next time we're working on the frame, we're gonna get the fuel system, fuel tank, fuel lines, brake lines, air shocks, training mount, all of that in place. Then I'm gonna mate the 20R engine into the W50 manual transmission and get it installed in the frame along with drive shaft, and I will have a complete rolling chassis with drivetrain. Thanks for watching.